I'm thinking about getting the meltdown that I had on Twitter on November the 9th, 2016 framed. It's probably going to be fashionable to do so in the future. This is a historical record now. I'm not actually blocked yet by Trump for the record, though I kind of wish that I was, because being blocked on Twitter by the leader of the free world is kind of a status symbol at the moment. I remember when I was cycling to work that morning, I fell off my bike because I was frantic. As someone raised on Cold War era sci-fi, the terrifyingly casual way that Trump had been talking about nuclear weapons during his campaign had really set me on edge and, well, obviously that hasn't gone away ever since. I mean, you watch the news, scandal after scandal, tensions with North Korea, Charlottesville, the contempt for people just asking questions, holding them to account, and the utter dismantling of the concept of truth itself.
You're saying it's a falsehood, and they're giving, Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that. But the point remains.
Wait a minute, alternative facts?
Several months later, I stumbled across the Alternative Truth project put together by B Cubed Press, an anthology series of stories, essays and poetry inspired by the events and issues thrown up in the wake of one of the most bizarre periods in not just American history, world history, a fair chunk of which is sci-fi and fantasy. Sci-fi to me has always been a means of analysing the world around us and trying to see where we might end up in the future, and the world's changing beyond all recognition, so satirists and storytellers are going to have to change along with it. A lot of Trump's actual press conferences probably wouldn't make the cut on a political satire show because it would have been considered too over the top. But how has this happened? Why has this happened? And where do we go from here? Well, in order to try and make sense of the events surrounding the era of post-fact and what led us here, I wrote and have now got a story featured in More Alternative Truths, the second volume in the series. My story's called A Beautiful Industry, and it's about this idea of the economically left behind, an idea discussed throughout the media in the wake of Trump's election as journalists have been trying to understand his appeal. My idea was to take this rhetoric about immigrants taking people's jobs and driving down wages when it's actually the mechanisation of industry that's taken over a lot of working class jobs, and to present this rhetoric but swap immigrants for robots and see how it sounds. And it's told from the perspective of a man who's prejudiced against robots. The collection dips between the lighter and darker ends of political commentary and satire, and it's very satisfying to read about LBJ coming back from the dead as a ghost to mess with the Trump administration, or the story of Moses delivering the Ten Commandments wherein Moses is replaced with Trump. But there's always that reminder that all of the stuff that's happening is happening to real people, and these are all issues that should be addressed. One of my favourites is called HMO by Karen Frank, which paints a heartbreakingly bizarre picture of the health insurance system where to afford operations, families have to either make themselves sick or have their organs harvested for the sums to add up. I was really excited to be a part of this project, and I honestly do recommend this book despite my obvious bias of being featured in it. There is no conflict of interest in this video whatsoever! No, there isn't, honest. So you're wiring the money to the offshore account now, yeah? Okay, cool. Okay, cheers, Vladimir. Oh god, still rolling! You didn't hear that. Fake news.